guys, it's Ghosdee. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about The Fly. It's the Thursday and I finally got the chance to look at The Fly. I'm pissed off that I waited this long to watch this movie. I feel the same about this the way I feel about The Thing. Waited too long to watch it. When I finally watched it, enjoyed it a lot. I didn't know anything about it other than a scientist accidentally turns himself into a fly. I didn't know how it happened. I knew Geena Davis was in it, but I didn't know her role exactly. Me going in blind definitely contributed to me enjoying this film. Immediately, I was pretty much into this film because we just get thrown into this scene of these two characters and there's obvious sexual tension. Jeff Goldblum's character, Seth, and Geena Davis's character, Veronica, they're at some sort of press conference party thing. Jeff Goldblum's character, Seth, is a scientist and Veronica is a journalist. You can tell that they're both engaging in this conversation to get something out of the other. Geena Davis wants a story and that's why she's leaning into his playfulness. I think that Jeff Goldblum's character is lonely and I think that he just wanted to impress someone. He wanted his ego stroke, which you find throughout this movie that he definitely has an inferior complex. He definitely got some insecurity issues. At least that's just how I feel about the character. He ends up convincing Veronica to come back to his place to show her what he's been working on. What he's been working on is a device to help people transport. Also, I would like to note that the script is smart. I love when ideas are presented through subtext and a one-liner confirms that. He's so passionate about being able to transport. We also learned in the beginning that he gets motion sickness. If you transport, you won't have to deal with being in a moving thing. They actually reference that when he successfully is able to transport a human, Veronica says, you'll never have to worry about getting motion sickness again. Stuff like that matters so much to me. Getting back to the story, they get back to his place. He shows her by transporting her stockings, tights, socks. She's immediately impressed and starts recording for her story. At first, he's against it, but then he agrees and says as long as like you follow me on my journey on successfully transporting humans, because at this point he can only transport inanimate objects. She brings the story idea to her, I'm assuming, chief editor, who's also her ex-boyfriend, and I hate him. He's so fucking slimeball. I fucking hate him so much. I hate him. Uses his power to like manipulate her. He's disgusting. I hate him. He sucks. He sucks. He sucks. He sucks. He sucks. I hate him so much. He's like, this isn't real. She decides to pursue the story anyway. We get this awesome scene where he tries to transport a baboon and it turns it inside out. This character is so big on winning. He hates failing. He wants to be on top of the world. That contributes to a lot of his decisions. Their MOs are just so clear from the beginning. I just have so much appreciation for the dialogue and the direction that help bring those to life. His character, he didn't feel like a movie character, he felt like a person. Despite like everything that he does wrong, because things do go awry in this film, I love his character. I love the complexity of him. We really get to see that when she's like, all right, Seth, you gotta talk about what just happened. She's like, well, how do you feel? He said, fuck is what I'm feeling. The look on his face and the camera pan, I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about that scene. In the midst of them working together, for him to get his goal and her to get her goal, they do develop a relationship, which I did not see coming at all. I did feel the flirtation and the sexual tension in the beginning of the film. I thought they were just using that as a device to get what they wanted, but you know what? Sometimes you just be falling in love. We got a great sex scene out of that because Jeff Goldblum he's pretty good looking. The first half of this movie is really sexy because he's sexy. He eventually comes up with this theory on how to transport humans and he tries another baboon and it is successful. They plan to celebrate, but I'm a little unclear on what actually took place. Basically, the ex-boyfriend started to interfere somehow. He started to get the idea that something was going on between her and Jeff Goldblum's character. Obviously was getting jealous because he's a fucking dick. While she's away dealing with that, Jeff pretty much assumes right that the chief and editor was Veronica's ex-boyfriend. He was feeling kind of inferior, so he's just like, you know what, I'm drunk, she's gone. I'm about to transport myself. Don't make decisions with science while drunk, guys. You might turn into a fly, because that's exactly what fucking happened. He didn't immediately turn into a fly. By this point, I was like, wait, does he try and transport himself again? By a scene or two later, I was like, oh, he's turning into the fly throughout the film, which I'm so happy that they took that route, because honestly, I kept envisioning him going into the thing, coming out a fly, and then we were just gonna spend the rest of the movie him in the lab as a fly. When I led on to he was slowly turning into the fly, I was like, whoa, this is like the anti-superhero movie. The scientist's experiment goes wrong and he turns himself superhuman. He starts to use his powers for good. That does not happen for Seth, unfortunately. It's actually kind of a tragic ending. He transports himself successfully, and well, he thinks successfully, but a fly somehow gets in there. He doesn't realize that. He's like excited. Also, that scene of him sitting in there naked, God, he comes out of the pod and there's like this fog and he's all naked. I didn't sign up to watch a porno, but I mean, okay. Veronica comes back and she does explain that that was her ex-boyfriend, whatever situation was going on with that, and he's like, I successfully transported myself. Hell yes. She was like, but wait, I thought you wanted to wait. Because he said he initially wanted to wait to see if the baboon was okay. Like I said, he needed to pick me up, so he decided to transport himself instead of, like, I don't know, eat ice cream or something. Let's talk about the scene where Jeff Goldblum does gymnastics for like 2 minutes and there's no dialogue. The next scene, Jeff Goldblum does gymnastics for like 2 minutes and there's no dialogue. He wakes up, he like kills a fly, he just grabs it and is like, holy shit. He started to feel different. His body started to feel stronger, and he started to just like do gymnastics in underwear throughout his apartment. And Geena Davis' character gets up and she's just like, he thinks that when he went through it somehow made him stronger. He doesn't realize his cells are being mixed with the fly cells. It takes him a while to realize that's what actually goes on. Him thinking that he's a superhuman creates great tension, especially because Veronica, Geena Davis's character, realizes something is wrong very soon. They go out and they're enjoying their times and he's just rambling about what happened or what he thinks happened. Also, his character pretty much almost always talks about his craft. It's either that or like some witty sarcastic comment. Veronica is basically like, dude, something's wrong with you, and he's like, no, it's not, and you need to go through too, because you're gonna be superhuman. We could do this together. We could be superhuman together. And I did it. I finally did it. I'm the person I've always wanted to be. They have a falling out because they don't see eye to eye. Not only is she picking up on his demeanor, but she sees that some insect shit is growing out of his back. He tries to trap another woman. He really just wants anything for reassurance at this point. To go pick up a woman to be like, look at this cool thing that I made, just for reassurance. I just love this character so much. He picks up a random girl at the bar and takes her home and shows her. The next day, Veronica comes back. She's like, bro, I had the things that are growing out of your back tested and it's part of an insect, so something's definitely wrong. He's like, no, you're just tripping. Bye. They have another falling out, and then he realizes that something's wrong. I'm happy that this shift happened sooner than later. I was worried that like he was gonna spend the rest of the movie, no, I'm great, and then the last scene he's like, ah, oh, damn it, she was right. He realizes that he fucked up pretty soon. We get a scene where he's like looking at himself in the mirror and he's like, I don't look the same, and his fingers are like falling apart. The effects on this movie are really good. There's some pretty gross stuff. I love gross shit. He runs some diagnostics on what actually took place. The scene where it's revealed to him that his body was infused with the fly, that was good. He hits up Veronica and he's like, Veronica, you right. She goes, hears him out basically, and she decides she wants to help him. She brings this issue to her ex-boyfriend. Why? I did not think that he was gonna be a part of the ending. That was one thing that I just did not like. I'm a little fuzzy on what happened after that, but eventually we learned that Geena Davis's character is fucking pregnant. What? Yeah, she's fucking pregnant with the dude who's turning into a fly. I don't really like dream sequences in movies, but this had a really good dream sequence where she gives birth to like a fucking fly larva. Shit was gross as fuck. That dream made her want to abort the fuck out of that baby. She attempts to, but Seth follows them. He's just like, no, you must keep this baby alive. I'm assuming he captured both of them. Somehow they both end up at his lab. He's trying to fuse Veronica himself together so him and Veronica and the baby could all be together. Before that, here's some gross shit. He gets into a fight with the ex-boyfriend. You know how flies throw up on their food before they eat it? He was like regurgitating on this dude's hand, the acid was making it like burn off. That was so disgusting, but also really cool. The vomit was the disgusting part. The hand burning off is what I really liked. And then we get to the part where he's trying to fuse them. The grody ex-boyfriend that I hate fucking saves the day. He shoots the pod. It turns Jeff Goldblum's character into a fly pod. He comes out. This is sad. She tries to take the gun and kill him, and she's like, I can't, like, fucking puts it towards him, and he's just like, kill me. She does, and then the movie ends, and I was like, no! I don't know what I thought. I don't know if I thought that this guy was just gonna live the rest of his life as a fucking fly. All he wanted was to be the perfect scientist. He wanted to feel good about himself. That ending was so tragic, but I did love it. I highly recommend it if you haven't watched it. I'm assuming most of my viewers have already watched it because I'm the one that's late. Overall, I fucks with this film, guys. I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd, so it's currently sitting at 3.9 stars. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, you can give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to my channel to see when I release future content. And if you want to hit the bell, you'll be notified whenever I do release a new video. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Disco Llama, Twitter at Ghosdee, and Letterboxd at Ghosdee. Thanks, I'll see you in the next video.